Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible, a Will of production, with your hosts, Bonkers Bob, Watchful Wade, and Mercurial Mark. This week, the caddish cadre claimed the quarrel of Cupid to calm the curious heart. Yes, it's time for dating advice. Too rich for my blood these days. Please prepare thy queries and enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, podcast this is. I am Wade, hosting Distractible. Welcome to it with Mark and Bob.
Oh boy.
Actually, for the mood that I'm in, that was about right. I kind of followed you.
We were talking a little bit before I started this one about how good my intros to the podcast hosting is, and I wanted to make sure I gave this one my all. So, welcome.
Nailed it.
Well, I feel welcome. I'm sure everyone at home feels welcome.
Good. Now that you're all welcome, how you guys doing? How's life?
Oh, I'm
Bad.
good. Okay.
I'm going to complain about
Ooh, kick it off, Bob.
Do it, Bob.
I honestly, I was trying to work this into a whole story. It's not that long of a story. It's just really
Fridge
sad.
got you down?
No, I ordered a laptop.
I hate those
I
things.
was going to finally get a new laptop. I've been using the same MSI since like 2016, I think. And it was a good laptop, but it's getting old. And I ordered a nice one.
Yeah?
I ordered a sweet one. It's just tasty. I paid out the nose for it. It's a MacBook Pro, i9, 8 gigs of VRAM, or whatever the new type of video RAM is.
What flavor?
Space gray flavor.
Ooh.
It's a banger of a laptop. I ordered it September 2nd. It's almost October now. And I just got a message today from Best Buy. I ordered it through Best Buy because that's where I have like a credit card with them. And they were like, we don't know if you're getting a laptop. If it doesn't come by like October 1st, we'll just issue you a refund. Sorry, bud. And I was like, what? When I ordered, first of all, it said have it by September like 17th, like the middle of the month, just a couple weeks. And I was like, man, a couple weeks. All right, well, I'll get exactly what I want. It'll be fine. I've been waiting for a whole month for Best Buy to just be like, actually, we never had that laptop. Here's your money back, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well,
So that's that's a very first world problem. My life will go on without it. But like, I love tech, right? And so I went all out. This was going to be the most expensive, fanciest name brand laptop I've ever had. No, never mind. This is not happening, I guess.
just never mind. It's like you have a dream and you're just like, oh boy, I can't wait. I've been thinking about that. Never mind.
I've never had a store do this to me. Like if I went to a McDonald's drive-through, and I went to the sign and I was like, 1 Big Mac, sir, with fries and a drink. Make it nice. And then I got to the window and they were like, it's not ready. And just
Our
go.
burger machine is down for cleaning.
Here's your money back, sir. Just go ahead. Just sorry. Like what? No,
Just
fucking.
sorry.
Why did you let me order that then?
Oh God, I love that. I hate it for you, but man.
We didn't know the burger machine was not working. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not on par with the fridge story, but like it's disappointing. I'm sad.
That's less rage. That's more just sad.
I get that. I ordered a car in July, and I still don't think I'm getting that.
Oh yeah, what happened? I don't know if it's like.
Oh, you don't have your car?
No, yeah, I saw you tweeting about like, oh, I don't have the car, and I was like, wasn't he supposed to pick that car up a while ago?
I gotta call them again because apparently Lexus shut down 2 plants or something, and my order got canceled. They called me about it, and I called them back whenever we had a back and forth, and they were like, actually, turns out your order shouldn't have been canceled at all. We're gonna put you back on the list. I was like, all right, cool. Back in the spot I was in, right? Not to the bottom where I've got to wait another 5 or 6 months, right?
Oh my god.
And I told them I would think about it, and I haven't actually called them back. So I've got nothing in the works for a car as of right this moment. There's still nothing going on with a car.
Oh man. Well, I mean, there's only so much. You get kicked in the dick. You don't exactly want to go back for seconds, you know? It's like, man, you guys really didn't do me right last time. I'm ready to be disappointed again.
I just don't know what I want to get. I don't know what to get. Help me.
You should get a Hyundai Veloster N.
Subreddit, tell me if I should get a Hyundai Velociraptor.
It's a cool car, man. It's cool. It's a little hatchback. It's got a sporty little engine. It goes vroom vroom.
Oh, I don't like hatchbacks. They're like minivans.
Didn't you order a hatchback? What
No.
exactly car did you get?
No, it looked very similar to like the FRS that I had. It looks like that, but it was like the Lexus version of it.
Right.
Whatever.
A Veloster.
Hyundai Veloster N. It's a new spec that came out this year. It's a sporty spec. Can get a manual transmission, but you don't have to. I've been researching it. It's a cool looking car.
I don't like hatchbacks. They're like mini minivans.
Fine, it's not a hatchback, Wade.
Oh, I want
just
it then.
a car.
I want it now.
It sure looks like a hatchback.
It's not a hat. It's got a long trunk. A long non-hatch trunk.
I'm tempted. Listen, we're going off on another tangent. We haven't even gotten to the tangent part. Mark, why is your day better than Bob's? Bob, 3 points for your misery.
I don't know. I woke up nice. I took a walk this morning. I don't know.
All right, Mark, 4 points for you because you're having a better day than Bob.
Everything went well. Everything I've ordered has come in a timely manner. Like, I've never been disappointed by a company because they fear my retributions. And also, I don't set myself up for disappointment.
Do you have a car?
I do have a car, yes. Actually,
Can
no,
I have
wait.
one?
Wait.
Wait.
My car don't work right.
Oh, wait, are you having more Tesla issues?
Yeah, I am. So here's a fun one. You know how doors normally open on cars?
Yes.
Well, sure.
You pull the handle and it opens.
Oh yeah. Well, mine don't have a handle you pull anyway. There's no handle to pull. It's a button, right? And so that door don't open.
What do you mean that's all the doors? All of your doors have buttons.
Oh, no. All the other doors open. My door doesn't open.
Just the driver's door doesn't
Just
open?
the driver door doesn't
Oh, that's
open.
kind of a pivotal door.
I know, right? It's an important one.
Thankfully, it's a cheap fix because Tesla parts are only like 15 grand a piece, right?
Oh, yeah. So what happened was it ran out of battery because for some reason, it didn't charge while I was away. And so I got back and the 12 volt was dead because for some reason, there's still a 12 volt in a Tesla with a giant fucking battery. So that was dead. And, once it dies, you kind of got to get it replaced. So I'm like, oh, shit, I'll set up for service. And then I had a tow truck come out and they jumped the 12 volt and suddenly the whole car turned on. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So it could work. It just needed to jump the 12 volt for the rest of the car to go like, oh, I'm awake, and then he didn't tow it that day because oh, it's fine. And then I tried to open my door and it didn't open. And I was like, oh shit. So they did need a problem because they were going to tow it to a service center and get it serviced right away. So I set up an appointment to service it. And the next appointment besides the day it would have been towed is 1 month from now. That was the earliest I got a service appointment. And I'm just like, how?
Who are all these people in line for cars and car fixes ahead of us? And stop it.
I don't know.
It's probably because I don't know if this is true, but it seems from my perspective to be true. Every Tesla you've owned has had some sort of serious problem. And this isn't that big of a problem.
I've owned 2. What do you mean all of them?
Did
How
you own
many
another
fleets of Teslas do you think I have?
I thought you owned 3 Teslas.
No, I've had 2 in my life.
Oh, well then your Model X has just had a lot of problems.
Oh my God, it's had so many problems. The suspension
I
is
thought those
blown.
were different cars.
No, it's the same car.
Jesus, what a shit pile.
I know. And so I was thinking okay, maybe I don't want the Model X. Maybe I'll trade up to a Model S. You know what the wait time is right now for a Model S?
I don't know, a
Ooh,
lot.
3 to 6 months?
I'd get it in March.
That sounds about like some close to that time frame.
You were quite correct, Wade. I was just I didn't say
It's
you were
almost
wrong.
like I've been looking for a car since July because I lost mine in March of this year. This year.
March of this current last year. This Lee.
All right, enough of our pain. Mark, you get, I already gave you 4 points. I had a better day than Bob, but your day sounds like it also sucks, so I give myself 1 point.
What? You cannot make yourself the winner.
Well, he can.
I have a point.
He can, though, is the thing.
He cannot.
He's the judge.
I can change the rules on a whim.
No, but there's global rules that we all agreed on.
We have no power here.
You watch what you say, or else I'm going to make myself winner right now.
Wade is essentially the train man from the Matrix trilogy here.
I will turn this episode around.
All right, fair
and
enough.
take you back.
All right, okay. All right.
All right, right now, Bob has 3 points. Mark has 4 points. I have 1 point. There you go.
Okay, that sounds good. I like that.
For everyone keeping track at home.
That wasn't today for Mark, and also fine. Fine.
You're having a bad day. You got to be losing right now. And technically, you're still beating me, so there you go.
Hey, he could still climb into his car from the other doors that do open.
And
I can't use my laptop that doesn't exist.
Doesn't your current laptop work? It's just getting old?
It works, except if you want to open Adobe products, which is the only thing I use.
So climb into your old laptop.
Turns on and
Jesus.
plays Stardew Valley, probably, but I don't want to play that.
Well, you know what? I've got the topic that's going to turn all of our days around. They're going to be a good day.
Okay.
All right, okay.
Now, we all have significant others.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone out there does. And I feel like that puts us in a prime position to talk about dating advice and some of our less maybe good moments of trying to ask somebody out or go on a date. I know Bob's told us stories involving this before.
Did that ever see the light of day?
I don't know.
Wait, which one?
We recorded me telling a story about dating.
Maybe
but
that hasn't seen the light of day.
I don't know if we ended up using that.
Oh no, that has not. God, we should.
Oh.
That's such a good story.
Can we just
That
edit
is.
that story into this so that we can get the new telling of it instead of me trying to retell it? I'm going to be telling you a story about young love, about a first job, about excitement over the possibility of sitting near a girl in high school, about overcomplicated plans that end hilariously and also quite terrifyingly in both failure and near-death experience, and the hard-to-explain series of decisions that led me and my high school best friend to almost kill a girl completely by accident. Where did this begin? My high school best friend, Dave, and I were hanging out in his basement doing the only thing that we did other than video games and work at our part-time jobs. No, not that. Which was play ping pong and lament about girls. I don't know if anyone else had this, probably not ping pong. We would literally, he had a ping pong table, but that was like what the ping pong table was for. And I don't know why. And it's a very clear and strict rule that we followed, but we're playing ping pong, talking about girls. And recently Dave had begun working at a new job at the movie theater, which is a great job. It's a lot of free movies thanks to Dave, but a lot of people go to the movie theater, and while we're playing ping pong, hanging out, he gets a text from one of his coworkers that this girl, the girl that he currently would not stop talking about, Jessica, was seeing a movie, had just walked in, gotten her tickets, and one of our creepy friends at the movie theater was like, hey, she's here, and sent him a text. And so we got this information, right?
You guys had a whole team on this.
Yeah, well, it's hard to date, okay? You gotta have takes a lot of effort.
I'm trying to keep track of everything. There's Jessica just walked in. What is the name of this creepy friend?
Can we call him I don't know, Kyle or something?
Sure, Kyle's about right.
All right.
I don't know. Kyle's
I'm pretty sure Kyle works at the movie theater and sweeps up the popcorn after the
Yeah, you know
movie's
what?
over,
That
right?
can be confirmed. Every movie theater has a Kyle, so
Yeah.
we have decreed. So
Cool.
it is so.
So it is
Real
done.
quick though, about your ping pong table, just to relate, I didn't have a ping pong table, but I had a friend. I don't know if you guys remember, there was this channel allegedly that my friend would always turn on, and apparently it was all static, but apparently it was supposed to be a porn channel. And so my friend would turn on the staticky porn channel, and that was our cue to be like, oh, I think maybe I saw a boob. That reminds me of that was our cue to talk about girls, was the weird staticky not real porn channel.
Wait, what did that remind this person of? Wow, a nipple. I remember my first dog. Wow.
I don't know, but he would always turn this on, and we would look for 3 seconds, maybe see something. It was like the ghost videos, man. It was we'd look and be like, is that a boob or a leg? I don't know. But Cindy was looking pretty fly the other day. I don't know. It would just lead to discussion.
Cindy.
That's concerning.
I don't want to go off into. This is Bob's story. It's just that was my ping pong table. Was my friend would turn on
Ping
the
pong
staticky porn.
is wholesome and a fun time for everybody. Mark and I played a lot of ping pong in college.
Yeah. I was actually just thinking about it, and now I'm starting to remember it. Between serves, Wade, Bob would get this really sad look, like he wanted to discuss girls, and then he'd
you
serve
never
and
did.
he wouldn't say anything, so we
God,
did not talk.
My friend had a pull-out couch bed, and we would sit together on this pull-out couch bed, and he would turn on the staticky porn channel. It's really awkward thinking back on. That was weird.
That's not a good picture.
Did you pull out the bed for that?
Yeah, we were on the bed together.
Oh.
Because that's where I
To
would
look at
sleep. So we would hang out where I would sleep, and he'd be like, turn this on, and we'd be like, maybe there was a boob, I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about stuff. We would always notoriously talk about the girls we had crushes on and things. Anyway, Bob, go back to your. It was just I wanted to relate to your ping pong table.
Okay, so we get the text from Kyle, the movie theater, creepy guy. Says, not only is Jessica my friend's love interest seeing a movie, she's seeing a movie with a friend who is the girl that I myself at that point in time would not shut up about. It's perfect, right?
What's your love interest name in this?
Melissa.
Yeah, what's the name? Melissa, okay.
Jessica and Melissa.
My best friend's love interest is at the movies with her best friend, my love interest. It's a love quadrangle. How do you say that word? Quadrangle.
I think it's just a square.
It's parallelogram. Could be anything.
Could be. You're right.
Trapezoid
Square is a
even.
parallelogram, but a parallelogram does not have to be a square.
Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth?
You and your friend do sound like squares in this. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got all the information now. The plan is obvious, right? Do you not see how this has to play out? Clearly, what we had to do was step one, gather a posse, obviously.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we gathered the boys, if you will, our other friends.
So gang hit. Got it.
Yep. We had to rush to the grocery store to pick up some flowers and chocolates. We head to the theater to stake out the car and then ambush them with love and appreciation as they exit the theater to get into their vehicle and drive back home.
Meanwhile, hey Jessica, you want to go see a movie today? Yeah, Melissa, that sounds great. I can't wait. I just want to get away, just enjoy a movie, you know, maybe go hang
Right.
out afterward.
Just the two of us, just casual, no drama, nothing. They had no idea. They had no idea.
I'm imagining this went well, but again, I don't want to get ahead
Yeah,
of
well,
myself.
you don't know which part resulted in attempted murder, so don't draw any assumptions.
Beat them with the flowers, accept my love.
This brings us to Act 2, obviously, the preparation. Now it's time to take action. There's a time clock on this. We know which movie they're seeing, when it was, how long the movie is. Our posse of friends that we gathered are the Stevens. One named Steven with a V, one named Steven with a PH. So there's 4 of us. We pile into my friend Dave's Honda Civic, and this next part plays out like an action movie. This is why the posse needs to be here, right? You gotta keep the car running. You gotta have logistics. You gotta have people in charge. So Dave and I are in the front seat. Stevens are in the back seat, and we're like driving, totally following the speed limit, totally being safe. We're driving to the grocery store, and the Stevens are in the back. One of them we call Steven, and one of them is Steve, which helps
Okay.
differentiate, but also is sort of indicative of their personality. Steve is the gossip. Steve is the one like texting updates with Kyle, like, did they leave early? No? Okay. Like keeping the subjects in sight, keeping our intel fresh. Steven is the one staring at his watch on the minute, every minute is like, oh, 28 minutes. 28 minutes from right now, we need to be in that parking lot. That'll give us, 15 minutes to find the car, find a spot, get a good angle, and he's sitting there just staring at his watch, just waiting. So we get to the grocery store. We run into the store. We've never bought this stuff before. Neither of us realized until we got inside, we're losers, right? We haven't really dated people to this point. Never bought flowers for someone or chocolates. Never gone to the part of the store that's set up for desperate losers trying to impress a girl sort of area. Don't know where that is.
So she bought chocolates, flowers, and a 50-pack of condoms, I'm guessing.
Magnum XLs, baby.
Standards, yes, absolutely standard.
Extra small.
Extra small magnums.
I wonder if anyone's ever creepily stalked or planned an ambush for me anywhere close to what you guys did for this group.
How many ambushes have you avoided
Yeah.
narrowly?
How many people's elaborate posse murder love plans have I just barely dodged? Probably 0.
Finally, after running around the store, looking like weirdos, we're fully loaded. Chocolates, flowers, extra small condoms, ready to go. The movie theater is not super far away, but we're back in the car, and it's like, all right, 8 minutes to the theater, and we're about 5 minutes away. Everything's on time. Steven is happy. Steve is updating us. They're still in the movie. Everything is fine. Kyle has not seen them go to the bathroom. He is watching them like a hawk.
I don't know if I'd be honored someone liked me that much or if I'd be really weirded out or creeped out. I don't know how I'd feel.
Well, you don't need to worry about it because no one's that obsessed with you. Continue, Bob.
I could answer for you definitively, Wade. It's creepy. But anyway,
Is creepy.
we're very responsibly and safely driving to the movie theater. We get there, right? Okay, so Act 3, the payoff, the action. We're here.
Yeah.
This is going to sound worse than it is. Dave happens to know which car is theirs. He knows
That doesn't sound too bad.
which car his beloved Jessica drives. And
His beloved. Yeah, okay,
That sounds
sorry.
worse than knowing what
Sorry,
car they drive.
sorry. Go ahead. His beloved Jen.
And so we go, we're scouting, we find the car, we circle around, we find an angle where we can park the Stevens so they can kind of see the action, because they've been with us this far. You don't want to leave the Stevens parked off in the corner somewhere like a-holes.
Yeah, no.
You want them to be able to witness
Your greatness.
great success that is about to happen, all this effort that we've put into coordinating this massive effort. So yeah, we get everything situated. We're sitting in the car. It's like a perfect like TV show thing where it's like from our car, it's sort of like through one row. There's a perfect little window between the parked cars and a light. Literally, it's nighttime. It's like a weekend evening. In the dark night, their car, an orange car, by the way, has a beacon on it, like at this bright focal point. But basically, we get the Stevens all set up. And then at some point, Dave and I are like, okay, well, we don't want to just be sitting here. If they come out earlier than we think or something, or maybe we have the timing off, we don't want to like get out of our car and run at them. That's terrifying. Someone jumps out of a vehicle and charges you in the parking lot. That's like a kidnapper or something, right? That's bad. So we're like, we'll casually, with our huge bouquets of flowers and oversized boxes of chocolate, get out of our car and sort of skulk, I guess is the word I would use to describe it. Sort of pick a spot where they can't see us because it's a surprise, obviously. They can't see us coming out of the theater. We're hidden. Turns out that light bleeds a lot. It shows a lot of area. So I think we were like, oh, we'll pick a discreet spot. It'll be fine. Luckily, the car that the girls are driving is this big truck sort of thing, like an SUV. It's tall. It hides us pretty well. I think if a family that was going to see a Pixar movie drove past this location in the parking lot that night, they would have looked off to the side and seen me. I was as big as I am now then. A huge 6'4" big dude with his very short friend standing in the middle of a parking lot with like some stuff, like obviously holding something, I guess flowers maybe. But like if you drive by that, how bad does that look?
Yeah, if I drove by that, I would think there was some shenanigans afoot and we'd go to a different theater.
I'm looking back on this though, right? And I don't feel good about this choice specifically. Of all the choices we made, this choice to lay in wait for what was essentially, I guess, our prey, to jump out at two unsuspecting people. It's a questionable
No, this
plan.
could only lead to true love.
Yeah, well, maybe it did. Maybe one of these girls is actually Mandy.
Oh,
Look, so we're standing here. It was probably like maybe 10 minutes, which is a long time to lurk in a parking lot. But we're standing there and it feels like forever, right? It's a combination of feeling kind of uneasy about where we are, the choices we've made, how this looks, but also we're about to ask a girl on a date, which is terrifying. Like it's, as for high school me, I had never really done that. It's not successfully done that. And it was a lot. And we're standing there like, you know, hearts aflutter, murder muscles really getting warmed up. So we're waiting forever.
Yeah.
And finally, peeking through the, you know, you can sort of look through the windows of a car, we're peeking around the edges, lurking, if you will. Finally, they round the corner from the front of the movie theater. I will say this is the back parking lot of the movie theater, not the front one where like everyone goes. This is like the cool back one. There's less foot traffic, less witnesses. So they're making their way to the back parking lot. You know, we sort of huddle. We're like, they're coming. Oh my God. And we're looking at each other, and Dave and I, collectively, we have this conversation that's like, don't jump out too early. Don't give them any warning. Make sure they're nice and close so they can't run, you know? Make sure that they get close enough. And we're like, yeah, that's the plan. Obviously, all of this is obvious. And finally, they get close enough. Jessica's digging for her car keys. They're sort of finally arrived at the car, and we're like, yes. And we take our big step out from behind the car, presenting the flowers so proudly. And I think everyone knows what their reaction is.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Sure. Well, then maybe that came later. Their initial reaction is actual terror. Like, actually, maybe we're here to grab them and run away or something, or take their purse and punch them in the face. Yeah. They look terrified, which is not surprising from this perspective. Dave and I are taken aback by their terrified look, and we're like, no, wait a minute. This is a perfect plan. This isn't scary. This is charming. We're expressing how much we care about them. They should be blown away with love and entrancement. Is that a word?
Yeah,
Entrapment?
sure. Oh,
Sure.
yeah, entrapment. I think you're getting there.
Yeah. Well, so they look scared. Dave and I look at each other and realize, like, oh, you know what? Maybe there were some flaws. But we're here. We've done it. It's a surprise. Everything will be fine. But at this point, like, Melissa's kind of like scared, but realized that it's us and it's probably fine. Jessica doesn't look scared anymore, but she looks like she's having trouble. Like, she looks like she might faint or collapse. Mm-hmm. And unbeknownst to us, despite the amount of love in his heart for this person, Dave had no idea, and I had no idea because I didn't know her very well. Jessica has a serious heart condition. She's I don't know what the medical condition is, but she has a serious heart health condition, and extreme surprises are bad for her and may cause her heart to stop beating. So anything that's terrifically shocking, jarring, terrifying is potentially deadly to this person.
Okay.
And so we didn't know that. And we don't know how to help. So she just sort of begins having cardiac distress and having trouble staying conscious. And she's the only one who knows at this point she needs to reach into her bag and get a bottle of medicine to take one of the pills that she has with her in case this comes up. But like, and I don't know, I imagine her friend who was with her probably had some clue since they're best friends maybe. But like, Dave and I are just standing there staring at this girl dying in front of us. We're not really sure. And our, nerves and excitement about asking these girls to go on a date turned suddenly to like actual terror on our parts. We don't know what happened, but apparently we've scared a person to death.
Why would you be worried?
That wasn't, so I've been selling it. Listen, I've been setting it up like, oh, it's a joke. We're going to kill this girl or whatever. We didn't mean to kill anyone.
Jesus Christ.
Believe it or not, based on the plan that we hatched and the decisions we made to execute that plan, our ultimate goal was not to kill this person. It was to secure a date or maybe a double date.
I feel like I'm watching a fucking true crime episode.
Yeah,
like this
God.
is like the killer explaining how they got started.
No, I see the detective piecing all the evidence together. And they lurked. No, they skulked outside by the car with flowers for their grave.
We didn't mean to kill anybody, but we found we had a real taste for it.
So this is happening. She reaches into her bag. Somebody has a bottle of water, takes medicine. After maybe a solid 5 to 7 minutes of like terror and staring and waiting by me and Dave, everyone is fine. Jessica's fine. Melissa is pretty pissed off. She's fine. And so like everyone's fine. There's 4 of us standing there in the middle of this parking lot. By the way, the Stevens must have had a hell of a show. I'm a little surprised they didn't come running out of the car trying to figure out, or like hop in the front seat and drive away. I don't know what the Stevens were doing
They were
or
coming
thinking,
up with their
but
alibi as you
Yeah.
were out there, like, okay, they kidnapped us too.
nobody saw us at the grocery store with them. Maybe we were at home. Maybe we were in my basement.
They knew about the heart condition the whole time. They wanted this to happen.
Yeah, I don't know, but they must have had a hell of a show. So the 4 of us are standing there. So everything's fine. Everyone's alive. At this point, Dave and I are like, okay, everyone's good. Let's do what we came here for.
The mood is set.
Everything has gone according to the plan. It's time to ask these girls on a date. I will say, I will release a little more context at this point. My friend Dave and his interest, Jessica, have some history at this point. They have not dated, but I think she is aware that he likes her, and he thinks that maybe she likes him back. Between me and Melissa, it's a much more unspoken amount of interest. Utterly unspoken.
How much
you could
unspoken?
say.
How many
I
words?
know her and have seen her at like parties or at, in band practice. I've seen her interact with other people. I may have talked to her directly once prior to this interaction. So mine was a real shot in the dark. Mine was like, you seem cool. You seem awesome. I like you. Maybe you like me. But Dave's is like a real, I think this has a shot. I'm going to ask this girl out, finally. So everyone's alive. Everyone calms down a little bit. Dave looks into Jessica's eyes and is like, hey, we've been hanging out a lot. I think you're really cool. We have a really good time together. I know this didn't go. I was hoping this would be more surprising and romantic and not like death-defying and terrifying. But like, look, I wanted to ask you on a date. Like, I got you these flowers and these chocolates. You can have those. That's just a gift. I just wanted to ask you if maybe we could go out and have dinner. Like, really nice. David is a sweet guy. He asks her out. Super nice. And she takes the flowers and sort of looks down. And very thoughtfully, she's like, you know what? I do have fun with you, but I think we're just friends. Like the classic letdown. And it's a big bummer. But that was always an option. And she was super nice about it. And so that all plays out. And now it's my turn. And so this has all happened, and I looked directly at Melissa, and I'm like, I hold out the flowers and the chocolate silently, and I look at her, and I'm like, you date? And she doesn't take the flowers or the chocolate. She doesn't say anything. She locks eye contact with me, slowly shakes her head no, and then just proceeds to get her friend into the car so they can leave.
Okay, all right, great.
So not equivalent responses, but not equivalent, pretext between the two interactions. I don't think Melissa's treatment of me was particularly unfair. Could have been nicer.
Yeah, given the situation, I think she was definitely overreacting to everything.
Yeah,
that
I
went
don't
down.
blame her for, maybe being a little taken aback and angry at me directly about what had happened just then. But
it's not like she was the one who was dying on the ground.
She was fine.
Yeah, she was
fine the whole time.
And the one who was dying sent the other person into the friend zone. You're not even in the friend zone, which is better?
Yeah.
Good? It's good.
He's like, you circle back.
Yeah.
Give it another shot.
Yeah.
It's not too late.
We can plan it out.
Anyway, 2 shots fired, no dates acquired.
Okay.
Chocolate?
But does that qualify as attempted murder? Who could say?
Anyway, dating. It's a scary thing putting yourself out there and, risking rejection and all that jazz. But the 3 of us have conquered that mountain.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yep.
And I know we have our own failures in that department that we could share from, pull from, and we have our own successes. So wherever you guys want to go with it, that is our topic.
Just dating?
Just dating.
Oh, man.
So I told that one story. I've dated 2 people in my life, and one of them I'm currently married to. I don't exactly have like a dearth of dating stories.
Well, no, but at some point you had to get up the courage to talk to somebody, or they had to get up the courage to talk to you, or you had an arranged marriage, or you had arranged dating.
I kind of got, this is not dating, but it's relationship. I got a relationship story.
There we go.
It's kind of funny, but it gives me mixed feelings because I guess I'll tell the story and you can judge that. Remember when we used to give stories titles?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's the title of your story, Bob?
This story is entitled, Oh, wow, really?
Oh, wow, really? Mark, what's the title of your thing you will say?
Yeah, you're ready, right, Mark?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hang on.
Waiting with bated breath.
God.
That's be a whole story. It could literally just be like something that went right or wrong or whatever. What are you going to say?
No.
You think on that, Bob. I guess you get to go now.
All right. So yeah, just in context to this. So I'm married to my wife.
That's good.
Like you are. And before we got married, I had to ask her if she wanted to do that. But before the proposal, I was like, I want to do this right. I'm nervous about this, and I want to make sure everyone is on board and happy. My parents were cool. I think they were probably a little surprised I had convinced someone to maybe marry me. I don't know. I probably told them, and they were like, you think she's going to say yes? Maybe just leave things the way they are. Don't mess with it, It's like it's going all right. But yeah, I was like, I'm going to talk to Mandy's dad and just talk to him and let him know and, ask for his blessing, right? Both of our families are pretty modern, and that's not really he wouldn't have been offended, I don't think, if we just showed up and was like, we're engaged. He would have been like, wow, awesome, cool. But I just wanted to, felt like I wanted to do the steps that I had always heard people talk about to do it right and be all chivalrous. And so, yeah, we were hanging out. I think it was Christmas. I think it was Christmas Day, and we were hanging out with Mandy's family, spending the holiday. And I remember the scene. He was asleep on the couch in the front room, right? It had been a full day and we had a nice holiday dinner and everyone was sort of chilling out. And he was laying on the couch in the front room asleep. And I was like, this is my time. He's separate. I've been waiting. I didn't have a specific idea of how am I going to get him alone? Because I don't want to talk about this in front of Mandy and everyone. And he was on his own in the front room. And I was like, I'm going to go out there, just initiate a quiet conversation, just have a talk. And I did. And I woke him up, and Mandy's dad is very approachable and very good. He's just a good person to talk to. He's always got insightful things to contribute. No matter what the conversation, he probably knows something about it. He's like one of those people where he's always down to talk and he's always interesting to talk to. So it's really easy to start this conversation. And I sort of steered it down the path of, I love your daughter. At that point, we'd been together for 3 years, and I was like, it's been a while, it's going well. We've moved in together over this last year and it's going really well. And I built this up, really selling him hard on it. And I got to the moment and I was like, I just wanted to ask, I guess, how you feel if I told you I want to ask Mandy to marry me. And I felt like I'd painted this picture, right? And I was, at this point, I knew her family pretty well. We had spent holidays together because we lived in the same city, so we could just drive over on the weekend and hang out and do whatever. It was fun. We knew each other, and I had been around for a few years, so it had been a while. And I looked him right in the face, and I said that, and I just remember, like, I expected him to either be like, yes, awesome, or to be like, you know what? Let me talk to you. And maybe he had a concern, or maybe he was just going to tell me to be a good husband or whatever. Give me some kind of, speech. I didn't know. I knew them well enough to feel like I think he's going to be happy about this because they know me and it's cool. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
He looked right in my face very calmly after this nice conversation we had. And he was like, oh, really? Yeah. And it wasn't like that was not a response I had contemplated. I didn't know what to make of it. We continued talking, obviously. He didn't do that and then like walk away, but he said that and I was like, oh yeah, is that wrong? Is that bad? Did I do this wrong? And I guess where he was coming from is he hadn't even really thought about it. He had no concerns. He was totally happy. Ultimately, he was like, you seem good. We know you. I feel like that does not concern me in the least. But he hadn't considered that we might be getting married. I don't know why. I guess he just wasn't imagining his daughter getting married. She's still his baby girl, right? You never really grow out of that with your parents. But for like 10 seconds when he reacted like that, my whole brain was just like, oh, fuck, I guess this is over. I should probably pack my stuff up and get out of here. Like, that's not a good response. But yeah, he was somehow totally shocked by that. No idea why. But it worked out great, and I'm still married, and you should just do that, kids. My dating advice would be do what I did. All that stuff I said.
I have a title. I have one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a title.
Bob, 5 more points, Bob.
I have a title. The title of my dating story is Left or Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it. Do I get to go? Do I get to tell my story now?
I guess so. Yeah, that's the way this works.
I would like to know which one it is. Go for it.
All right. So the reason it's called Left or Right is because when I was in high school, I was absolutely terrible at dating. And not even dating as in like dating around. At literally the act of taking a human being on a date, I was terrible at that. Because I didn't understand what the concept was or like what you do or anything. It's not like I wasn't aware of the concept of dating, but I could not wrap my head around the idea of taking another human being to a place to hang out with them. So what I would do, and this is probably the reason why my high school girlfriend just eventually got really tired of me, is just because I would just go on drives. And the way we do this, and Wade, you know what this is in reference to, when you're coming out of Milford and you're about to get on 275, you can either take the right and go that way on 275, or you can go left and go that way on 275.
They've changed it since, but
yeah,
yes,
now it's
it used
both
to be
rights.
that way.
But back then it was like a right and a left
Back
turn.
then, yeah, left to go south and right to go north. Yeah.
Legitimately, the way that I'd be like, hey, your name, we want to go hang out? And like, yeah, and I'd pick them up and we get in my car and we'd drive out that way and be like, all right, we'll go right or left. You go left or right off of down 275. And it's not like I was going anywhere. I didn't have any place to be. I had no plans, no nothing. It wasn't going to a restaurant. The concept of going to a restaurant didn't even occur to me. It was like, I just want to drive and hang out because like I just got my license, or I had it for like a year. And I'm like, yeah, freedom of driving. For me, driving was like the best thing. So I literally asked them, just like, hey, you want to go left or right? And after the first few times, she humored me. I was like, left or right. It was fun, right? And then literally we just drive around the 275 loop and talk. And just that was my experience with dating. I did not take someone out to a restaurant to eat until I started dating in college.
Wow.
I legitimately was incapable of doing anything.
You just drove the loop?
Yes.
That's a bold move.
You want to go out? Yeah. all right, we're staying out. We'll never go in again.
No, exactly. Because the concept of like hanging out is like, oh yeah, we go over to your parents' house or my parents' house. We just hang out there. But if it was going out, I just couldn't fucking do it. Like left to right. Like I had some money. I could have taken them out to a restaurant, but I was physically incapable. So it always just came up with a conversation. Just like, yeah, left to right. Yeah, left. Today's a left kind of day. All right.
You should have just, you got there. Whatever choice they did, you just be like,
Yeah.
good, that's the right choice.
Yes, exactly according to my plans.
That's interesting. I don't feel like that's a bad thing. That was like your only move maybe was a little limiting, but like I did not do that in the dating context, but I did that with buddies. We would absolutely, once one of us had a car and could drive, we would absolutely be like, yo dude, it's Friday night, like what are we gonna do? Like, I don't know, I don't really want to. Oh, you just want to go like drive around? Like we would always head down to OSU campus, I guess. And we didn't ever do anything or get into anything. I'm sure we could have gotten into a party or whatever, tried to like get into trouble. We just like drove around and like looked at stuff and, you know, hung out and drove around, and it was the freedom. Totally get that. I feel like that's the thing a lot of people would identify with.
Yeah.
My friend kidnapped me and drove me around the loop. I think I've told that story, haven't I?
Oh yeah, you did.
So that was fun. But that driving can be, you know, actually Molly and I like going on drives. Sometimes we'll just go out and just drive around for a bit. Not necessarily like a super long one, but
why do you think it didn't occur to you to like take one of your dates to a restaurant or something? Were you like morally opposed to it, or were you literally just like unaware of that was the thing you should do?
I don't know. It never even occurred as a possibility.
That's kind of funny.
Have you never seen a movie where people go on a
No. No, I cannot explain this. I was very socially inept in a lot of ways. Like, it's fine when I was hanging out with friends and stuff, but when it came down to dating, like, I didn't understand what you were supposed to do. Like, it was just like, oh, girl, oh, I like hanging out with you. You're cute, and I like looking at you. But it's just like, other than that, I had no capability. Zero. Absolutely none.
I hope that's what the conversation was like when you were driving around. Hey, girl, I like looking at you. You're cute.
I like looking at you. You're pretty.
Just for hours stuck on the highway.
High school Mark hanging out with his friends, like, that's cool, that's really cool. And a girl walks up and he's like, hey, you're a girl. You ain't gonna drive around in my car. I wanna hang out with you. Like, all the guys are like, Mark, are you okay? Yeah, no, I always talk like this.
I know these guys are great now, but I'll take you left or right. We can go either direction.
Be cool, guys.
Yeah, no, legitimately. I wish that I could say like I had any kind of ineptitude, or aptitude, and not ineptitude. I was apt.
You don't wish you had ineptitude?
I don't.
He wishes he was apt.
I wish I was apt.
Oh.
I had aptitude.
That's very magnanimous of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How many points do I get for my story?
Oh, man. Let's see. I gave Bob 5.
Let me guess. Mark, it's more arbitrarily.
I'll give you 2, Mark.
Oh,
one for left, one for right.
That's fair. Oh, man.
You know what? During that, Mark, your talks about young dating and asking girls out and stuff, I actually thought of some good, positive, constructive dating advice that I have to offer our gentle listeners.
All right.
Okay, I can't wait.
So I was in marching band the last 2 years of high school, and for freshman and sophomore year, I was a football player, and I basically had like no friends in that time. I hated the guys on the football team. I was part of the team, so they didn't like beat me up or anything, but they were assholes, right? They were not good friends. I didn't like them. They clearly didn't like me. So I was kind of a loner. And then when I stopped playing football, I hurt my shoulder and decided to stop playing football and switch to band. Some of the people in band, it was kind of cliquey, but like I had an actual friend group in band. I had a group of guys and girls who were all just cool. We would hang out, and it was weird. And I didn't know one thing had never learned about school growing up, at least in America and where I grew up, school dances, right? I had never really been into that much. I'd kind of done school dances, but like, I don't know. But once I was in this friend group in band, the whole group would always get geared up, right? You make a plan. You get a big reservation at some restaurant or something where you can all go together. And it's like a whole phenomenon of like, you go to the dance and it's all a big thing. And you can go stag, you can go without a date, but most of my friends were always dating someone. And so I always also wanted to go with a date. And a lot of the time, I'm a timid person. Once I get to know someone, I can have a conversation, and I'm much more outgoing now than I used to be. When I was a kid, I never talked to anybody unless I had to. But so asking a girl out, even just to a dance, which is sort of lower pressure than like a date where it's just the two of you, because a dance is kind of like a social gathering where there's lots of people, you know what's going to happen. It still was something, it was really intimidating and was scary. But I decided my senior year, I'd warmed up a little bit, and I think it was senior year. I don't know, one of the years. I was like, I'm going to ask this girl who I think is kind of cute, and I don't really know that well, but I would like to go to the dance with her. I would like to take her to dinner and go to the dance. And I was like, and I have the perfect plan. The band directors like me because I'm a good musician and I'm pretty mediumly responsible, at least when it comes to marching band. I was a good kid. And I was like, I will ask them if at the end of a band practice after school one day, I can stand up on the podium in front of the entire band before they're dismissed. And in this beautiful romantic gesture, I will ask this girl, who I have no barometer on if she likes me or would be at all interested in doing this, if she wants to go to the dance with me. It will be this grand gesture. It is terrifying. Like, even right up to the moment I did it, I was like, every time I think about doing this, it makes me want to puke. This is terrifying, but I'm gonna do it. God damn it. I want to do the thing that people do in like TV shows and stuff. And I did. I got up there and I was like, I gave a little speech and I was like, the dance is coming up and I just have one question. Will you go to the dance with me? You know, and everyone's kind of like, whoa, woo, woo, kid stuff. And she said yes. And I was like, wow, awesome. Thank God. You could have said no. That would have been crushing for me. That would have been just so embarrassing. And we went to the dance and we went to dinner at a restaurant and she did not sit next to me. She sat next to another boy who she was apparently very interested in and who was apparently, I think, maybe planning on asking her, or they were going to be dating or something like that. Like they were like practically dating. And I just inserted myself. It turns out she couldn't say no because I asked her in front of 250 other people. I had thought this was such a clever romantic plan. I was like, it'll be great. She'll be like, whoa, wow, that's awesome. I'll just hang out with this dude. No, I pressured this girl into agreeing to something that she had no interest in doing, which is fine. She doesn't have to like me and want to go out with me. But then I still think it was a little hurtful and rude that she essentially ditched me. She ditched me before we hung out at all. I like picked her up. We went to the restaurant. Didn't really talk to me at the restaurant, and then I never saw her again in the rest of my life.
Was she like moved? Like she just, I have to leave. I have to.
I don't know. I know she still
She
exists.
grew a mustache, changed her name.
We were Facebook friends. I know she didn't like die tragically or something. She disappeared at the dance, and I don't know what happened. But my advice would be, don't fucking do that, idiots.
That's good.
Like,
you don't really think about that though. Whenever you're like asking somebody else, you don't think about like their perspective on it. You're like, oh man, I want to do that. Like you said, your mind, it was, this will be this awesome romantic gestures. It'll be awesome. It's gonna be really tough for me to do this, but like, you know, maybe she'll say yes, maybe she'll say no. Who knows? But I'm gonna try it. Like, you don't think about the pressure that puts on somebody. Like, I guess unless you've lived it.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with romantic gestures either. If you want to do something ridiculous and, you know, very grand, and that's fine, but pay attention to the context. Because if I had done that in front of her house, or I don't know, somewhere where it's basically just the two of us, or maybe us and a couple of her friends or something, and it's not in front of all of the people that both of us are friends with in the entire school, because it's all of the marching band, and that makes, you know, that's like our entire friends group. She felt so bad because she just wanted to be like, oh, no thanks, that's very sweet, but that she couldn't crush my entire soul in front of several hundred people. So just think about the context. Guys, it's okay to be romantic, and you'll probably have some, if you do that, you probably still get some no's, and that's very sad. But that's okay. It's cute. It's adorable. It's a thing that kids do, right?
But I feel like romance is intended between people that kind of know each other already. I feel like it's one of those things where you really gotta know what the answer is going to be. And I know that there's no guarantees in life or anything like that, but I mean, I mean, obviously, definitely don't do these big sweeping romantic gestures in front of everybody. But I feel like it applies double for people that you aren't sure are going to say yes. You know what I mean?
I mean, well, but so if you're basically like a stranger to this person, like you have a crush and they don't really know anything about you because you've never interacted, yeah, that's kind of awkward. But like, I knew this person. I was in marching band. She was also in marching band. We had been around each other. Our friends groups kind of overlapped. So I didn't know if she would say yes or no for sure, but I like had talked to her. I thought, oh, she's fun and we have a good time talking. You know, my impression was she didn't leave me mid-conversation, so she must have at least kind of enjoyed talking to me those few times. But like I didn't know she was going to say yes or anything. I feel like it's fair if you do it in the right context to just be like, hey, I think you're awesome. We kind of know each other. Do you want to go out? But the other thing with that for kids is, as an adult, not that I've dated as an adult, but like, I feel like if you approach someone and you're like, hey, it's me. You kind of know me. I kind of know you. You want to like get coffee. The context of that is like, do you want to get to know each other more? You don't necessarily dive right into, do you want to go to the most romantic restaurant in the city and then get a hotel downtown afterwards and see what happens? Like, you know, there's levels to it. And if you're going for coffee, you don't have to know if they like you or not. You're inviting them to be like, hey, do you want to talk to me? And I want to talk to you. Like, maybe we'll like each other. But in high school, there's not really such a thing as that. Like, you're dating or you're not dating. And I feel like no matter what you're doing, if you're dating, it's got all this stigma to it. I don't know. It means something. It means you're kissing.
It means you're kissing. I don't know. The whole concept of dating just seems so, like, I haven't dated in a while, but even like when I did, the whole concept of dating just like irks me. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable with it. It's like, hello, person that I'm trying to get to know. Yeah, I swear I'm not just trying to have sex with you. I swear. I don't know. It's like,
That's a good lead off.
but kind of like in the same vein, like, I'm not good at making friends either. And I think it's kind of like a spiritual successor of.
Oh, it's the same idea.
Yeah, it's the same concept. Like, how do you go
You're
up to.
essentially trying to make a really good friend.
Yeah, how do you go up to a human and be like, hey, you seem cool, I think. Let's go. There's no Tinder for friends, right? And it's like,
Friender. Let's
the
make
only
it.
reason that Bob, you and I are friends is because we were assigned to be roommates and we just so happened to get
Randomly.
along. That's random. And
Yeah.
it's just like you were forced to associate. So it's like you might as well get to know this person that you're in a room with for a long time. But how do you make I don't even know. This is why people like become an adult and they run out of friends because they move away. And high school is just a situation where you're forced to interact with people. And yet there are no situations where you're forced to interact with people. Like I'm trying to learn Korean, so I want to meet Korean friends. How the fuck do I do that? How do I do it?
I've got an idea. Let's start an app. We'll call it Friender. Or, you know how there's preschool? What if we have post-school for people just to go and have apple juice and, relearn the alphabet or something
Man,
to make some more
you're
friends?
describing like a nursing home.
Well, a nursing home, but you don't have to be knocking on death's door to go.
There does kind of need to be a thing. But when I was in college too, I didn't make friends in college besides Bob, really. And it's just
really
because
either.
like it's not the same. You're in the same place with these other people, but you're not forced to interact. You don't have a locker next to someone. You're just like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
There's no group activities in college. I hated all the people I was in group activities with or like assigned to do group work with.
No, dude, you know what? I will say I made friends in college. As far as I'm remembering, except for like you, Mark, all the friends I made in college were people who were in music school because the music school was like a high school for people who are too old to go to high school. It was like this. I don't know if you remember or what your experience was, but I went to the University of Cincinnati. They have the College Conservatory of Music. It's a very good music school in general.
Yeah, it is.
But it's like a little high school. It's very like cliquey and I don't know, weird. Like there's it's kind of one of those things where it becomes its own little microcosm. And I made friends through that because we were essentially forced to interact, like you were saying. I didn't like another person that I met in any of my regular classes at college or anything else that I did. As far as I'm remembering, I did group projects with people. I was in a degree program once I switched out of music that was not that big. I think there were 20 of us that graduated my year with my degree. We all kind of knew each other. Didn't care for any of them.
Yeah.
Didn't like those people.
Oh my God.
Didn't stay friends for 5 minutes once I was done doing whatever I did to graduate.
Yeah. God, you know what the tragedy is? All the people that I liked in my program dropped out. And I'm guessing, like me included, I ended up dropping out. But I was going to finish. But everyone else, like, I didn't really like. I don't get it.
I don't know. I think that's possibly $1 million app idea right there.
Yeah, definitely.
The Grinder, no, not Grinder, Tinder,
Friender.
but for friendship.
I mean,
it could
Friender.
it could be Grinder for friendship. That seems like a non-important specificity that it's for gay friendships. But
is it one of those things where no matter what, those apps are going to be used for fucking people? Because it's going to boil down to that, right?
Probably, definitely.
It boils down to it because there's no way that you could be like, I want to make a friend. Do you specify gender? Is it like anything like that? Do you get like, who do you meet up with? Like, creeps are gonna find people and be like, hey, I want to be friends with you. You know, it's like always a risk when you're going out to meet humans because humans are sometimes terrible. Ugh.
Do creeps always only have deep voices?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not me though. Not me though. It's like a square's a rectangle, but a rectangle's not a square. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hello, everybody.
Anyway, making friends is I think I have made one, I guess two, it's a couple of people who are like new friends that I have hung out with socially since I can remember. I don't know, man. It feels like it's been a long time.
Yeah, this is just turning into a really
Fair.
sad thing because I don't remember the last time that I made a friend.
Forget dating. We can't even make friends.
I know. Well, no,
I'm
that's
sure listeners out there all hard. You struggle. This isn't just us, right? This is normal people issues, right? Right, guys?
Yeah.
It's
Come
tough to do a lot of
on.
I feel like for dating and friendship both, high school and like whenever you're around a lot of people a lot, it's a lot easier to have interaction that's, I wouldn't say forced interaction, but like it kind of is forced interaction where it's like, well, at least you're all already there kind of next to each other. Whereas as an adult, it's like without an app, how do you legitimately meet people to make either friends with or to possibly date without it being like a, I'm physically attracted to you, let me go talk to you, or hey, you laugh at sport thing, I want to laugh at sport thing, let me just go talk to you out of the blue.
Yeah, this is what blows my mind about Evan. Because Evan, here's an example about how you guys know Evan, right?
Yeah, he works.
Yeah.
He works for Mark.
Yeah. So basically, Evan is the most friendable person I've ever met. He once, like last time I was out in Austin filming Heist, he stayed at an Airbnb there in the basement of this dude's house. And he made friends with his Airbnb guy. He talked with him and then hung out with him and then kept up with him to the point where when we filmed Space, he brought him over to hang out because I was like, oh shit, I know this guy in Austin. Like, how do you do that? How do you physically do that?
He made friends with all of our bus drivers when we were doing the tour.
Every one of them.
Every one of them.
I couldn't believe
He
it.
had nicknames for everyone too.
He would always make like venue friends and stuff too.
Yeah.
Because on the tour we're in like a different place every day.
Yeah.
And I would always inevitably I'd be coming in from the bus or something and he'd be in the loading dock with like a dude in a high visibility vest, just like, oh hey, this is like Charles. We're just hanging out. What the fuck? How do you?
Yeah,
do you know
I
him?
don't
Like,
get
no,
that,
we
'cause-
just met. We're just buddies now.
Because I can do the thing where I can talk to anybody. Like, I get that. It's not really hard for me to carry a conversation with someone. But the desire to, like, continue that, and I get that, there are other people out there that I could probably be very good friends with and stuff like that. But just, like, the desire to continue those conversations beyond the point where we're talking. Like, I don't think we text really all that much to catch up. And I don't text with my friends at all. And, like, I don't catch up with people. So I can't even imagine catching up with someone I don't know. Like, how do you do it?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
We should take like a week off and just have Evan host and tell the entire world
Yeah.
his secret.
I mean, I
Evan
think...
would have so many stories. You're just sit Evan down and be like, all right, Long Beach, California, Evan.
Yeah.
There's your prompt. And he would just be like,
which year? Which month?
how do I even pick?
He's like, yeah, I know everyone in Long Beach.
I was down in Long Beach picking up some stuff a couple weeks ago, and I was like on the corner, and this dude came up, and we talked for 4 hours.
I know.
And I'm gonna be the
That
best
is
man at his
not
wedding.
an exaggeration. Like, this is legitimately how Evan operates.
No,
No, I wouldn't even be surprised, really. If Evan said that, I'd be like,
Yeah.
sure.
He's
man,
just that type of
makes
guy.
sense." He is. Ah, Evan.
I'm looking up an article of 13 best apps for making new friends. There's Meetup. There's Bumble BFF. Ooh, Bumble, the dating app, has made a BFF for searching for platonic yet meaningful relationships with others. Oh, well, that's nice.
There you go. That is nice.
Oh, see, it was $1 million idea. It's just someone already did
We
it.
could do it better with Friender.
Oh, there's an app called Atleto, which is like for finding training buddies for gyms or like sport buddies or stuff like that. That's cool. That's nice.
I've even got the tagline: Friender for when you hardly even know her.
There's
That sounds so fucking bad. It's like the tagline of an app for creepy dudes who are like, I saw this girl.
there's already an app called Friender. I hate to say it. It's on this list. Yeah.
Wow. Wade, that's already an app, actually.
Oh.
You're just recycling more content. That was actually the premise of a 1996 Ewan McGregor movie as well. The movie was actually called Friendster. That's different, technically, but you're just stealing that movie, Wade. Let's be honest.
Okay, what about like instead of eHarmony, we have like ePlatonic E? No, it doesn't have a. help.
They're called Meet My Dog. If you're a dog lover, surely have a good time. Oh man, there's also one called Peanut, which is specifically for moms who feel isolated and want to connect to other moms, which connects women across fertility and motherhood. And that's interesting.
Oh.
I feel like that's kind of like
That seems
echoing
important.
something that happens usually like back in the day, I guess, when, stay-at-home moms, not that it doesn't happen now, but, like neighborhood moms would get together and they would talk. But if I recall, it's another one of those things where it's like forced arrangements and maybe you don't really like everyone there. And I don't know.
That makes me remember my relationships, the ones I've had. I think I've only legitimately asked like one person out. I mean, technically I asked Molly out, but Molly definitely instigated us talking. In high school, the first girl I ended up dating, my buddy wanted to date, and then she ended up like sitting with me and kind of like implying like, And then we dated for like 2 months. Another girl, people were like, aren't you even dating yet? Actually, 2 in a row, people were like, aren't you even dating yet? We're like, yeah. And then we were like, do we want to date? Yeah, sure. And it was like after the peer pressure. I think my ex from college is the only one that I instigated talking to and asked out without there being like some kind of social pressure to do it or without them instigating. It was like I said, Molly kind of did with us.
No, yeah. No, I suck too. Maybe it's us. Maybe we're the problem in terms of meeting people and making friends.
I'm always kind of afraid of that we're going to have these conversations.
Yeah.
Because we used to do this when we would stream too, which we should do again, by the way. That was fun. But we used to have these talks where we're like talking about personal stuff and like, oh, it's so hard to make friends. Like, how do you meet? And I'm always afraid that the listener or the audience or whoever is just sitting there like, holy fuck, these guys are sociopaths. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't listen to this anymore. I'm out of here. Those are bad people. Yikes.
Me, episode about dating advice. Actual effect, we lose our audience and our significant others are like, you guys are kind of losers. We listen to your podcast and we decide we want to leave too. Families delete our number like, Mom, I'm not your mother.
I've really been testing that with Mandy lately. She listened to the Shit My Pants episode.
What did she
Didn't
think of
leave,
that?
So I guess that's a good sign.
I'm going to go upstairs. Even my dogs aren't going to look at me.
The shattered remnants of Ginger laying on the ground avert their gaze. And if you don't know that reference, then you didn't listen to the episode, did you? Yeah, take that. Anyway, I don't think anyone should probably listen to any dating or friendship advice we have to offer. We're bad people.
Yeah.
Let's crash this plane into a mountain and get out of here, boys.
I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, what I'm starting to realize, like, yeah, it's me. I don't have any desire to go and talk to people. Like, I don't, that is entirely a fault of mine. But also, I'm assuming that any random person that I go up and talk to probably doesn't want to talk to me either. But what it's probably a situation is where they're like, man, I wish someone would talk to me. And a person like Evan comes up and be like, hey, you're cool. Hey, like, just the way Evan talks to people probably makes him feel great. And just like, hey, I'm appreciated. This is great.
Evan should write a book.
He should, about all the people he's met.
Yeah, it's our idea though, so we should all get royalties from it. But Evan, write a book.
That's why we don't have friends.
Oh, damn it.
Wow.
What if we just monetize it a little bit?
What if I just wrote the book and then I had Evan edit it so that it was in his voice? Then like I did the work. So that would make sense, right? So I would get the money.
Or Evan can write the book, but we will read it online and take credit for the words.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. I see what you're getting at. Yeah.
Evan, buddy, we want to monetize you. That's why you're our friend. Oh God, what happened to me?
I'm officially off board with this idea.
No.
Wade is on his own once more.
What happens? Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and I've been the judge one too many times.
Any other dating advice?
Not from us. We should not give any.
Nah, it's we're cool, man. It's just a bit, right? We're cool.
Are we cool?
Yeah.
I don't think we're cool, man.
Yeah, that's why I say it so much. We're cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Probably not.
Come on, man. No,
I don't think so.
Mark, an extra 3 points for your brutal, sad honesty.
Thank
there.
you.
Hey.
Bob, you get 7 points for some of the stuff you said in the middle. Mark, you also get 7 points for some of the stuff you said in the middle.
Okay.
Let me hang on. I've got my spreadsheet here. I've got my Excel file ready to do some math. Mark wins by 2 points.
Oh.
I feel cheated.
You probably should, because I'm surprised. But that 3-pointer I gave in the middle, I guess, the extra 3 points there really
You can't
made a
argue
difference.
with the man. You can't argue. It's just how it is.
I feel like everything's stacked against me. Feels unfair.
Hey, maybe you can match my losing streak.
No.
Well, that's dating, everyone. and friendship. If you're listening, then just know there's probably better advice out there than what we offered you. Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Bob, for reminding us of how sad and awful we are.
Thank you. I feel like we've really made people feel good out there, us included.
That's what comedy does.
Yeah.
That's the podcast, everyone. Download all of our episodes on every podcast app and listen to them all day, every day. Thank you to our sponsors and to Wood Elf. Thank you, Mark, Bob. Thank you most of all to me for being a great judge. We'll see you all next week for, I guess, whatever Mark wants to talk about.
All right, sounds good.
Podcast out.